Bruno Mars The Romantic Tour Day 47 ends at MetLife Stadium ahead of historic New Jersey finale. Bruno Mars has done it again. Another night, another packed stadium, another chapter in one of the biggest live concert stories of 2026 has officially come to an end. Day 47 of Bruno Mars The Romantic Tour at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, has concluded, and now all eyes are turning toward one final night. The countdown is officially on. After another unforgettable evening in New Jersey, Bruno Mars is preparing to return to the same venue for the 48th and historic finale stop of the tour in New Jersey on Wednesday, August 26th. For hooligans who have been following every show, every outfit, every surprise, every emotional moment, and every detail of the romantic tour, this is the moment everyone has been waiting for. And before we go deeper into everything surrounding Day 47, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit the like button if you want more Bruno Mars news, the romantic tour updates, concert highlights, music milestones, and breaking entertainment stories. Your support helps this channel continue bringing you the latest updates from Bruno Mars and the world of pop music. Day 47 at MetLife Stadium was not simply another date on the calendar. It was another step toward the ending of a massive chapter. The atmosphere surrounding Bruno Mars' return to East Rutherford has become increasingly intense with every passing night. The romantic tour has already taken fans through major cities, huge venues, unforgettable performances, and moments that have generated worldwide attention. But as the New Jersey run approaches its final show, the energy feels different. There is something about the final night of a multi-show stadium run that creates a completely different level of anticipation. Fans know that the clock is running out. They know that the stage will eventually go dark. They know that the final note will be played. And they know that whatever happens during the last performance could become one of the most memorable moments of this entire stretch of the romantic tour. That is exactly why Day 47 matters. It is the night before the finale. It is the final chapter before the final chapter. And that creates a powerful sense of suspense around what Bruno Mars could bring to the stage next. For the hooligans who have followed the romantic tour from its earliest shows, this journey has been about far more than simply watching Bruno Mars perform his biggest songs. The tour has become a full-scale live experience built around music, choreography, fashion, personality, nostalgia, romance, humor, and the unmistakable stage presence that has made Bruno one of the most recognizable entertainers in the world. Every show carries its own atmosphere. Every city creates its own memories. And every night can leave fans wondering what Bruno might do differently the next time the lights go down. Now, after Day 47 in East Rutherford, that curiosity is reaching its highest point. Because there is only one show left in this New Jersey chapter. Wednesday, August 26th. MetLife Stadium, the historic finale. Think about that for a moment. After all the preparation, rehearsals, travel, production work, stage setups, lighting, sound checks, costumes, and anticipation surrounding this massive tour, the New Jersey run is now down to one final performance. And for thousands of fans inside MetLife Stadium, that final night will not feel like just another concert. It will feel like an event. The lights go down. The crowd gets louder. The familiar countdown begins. The anticipation rises. And then Bruno Mars appears. That moment has become one of the defining elements of the romantic tour experience. There is a reason Bruno Mars concerts continue to attract enormous attention online. His performances combine the traditional excitement of a major pop concert with the feeling of watching a complete live show created specifically for the stage. The music is familiar, but the live experience gives those songs another dimension. A song that fans have heard hundreds of times through Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or radio suddenly becomes something physical. The bass hits. The lights change. The crowd sings. The cameras rise. And thousands of people experience the same song together. That is the power of Bruno Mars Live. And at MetLife Stadium, that feeling has reached another level. East Rutherford has become the center of attention for Bruno Mars fans as the romantic tour continues its journey through the United States. Social media has been filled with fan recordings, concert reactions, photographs, outfit discussions, performance clips, and conversations about what happens next. But now, the biggest question is no longer about what happened on day 47. The biggest question is what happens on day 48. What will Bruno Mars do for the historic New Jersey finale? Will there be a special moment? Will the set list feel different? Will Bruno acknowledge the significance of completing this run? Will there be an unexpected surprise? Or will the final night simply deliver the same powerful concert formula that has made the romantic tour such a major live attraction? That uncertainty is exactly what makes the finale so exciting. And this is where the story gets even more interesting, because Bruno Mars has built a career around moments that feel bigger than the song itself. His greatest performances are often remembered not only because of what he sings, but because of how he makes the audience feel. From the first beat to the final note, his concerts are designed around momentum. There is always another song coming, another transition, another dance sequence, another interaction, another opportunity for the crowd to become part of the show. That is why a Bruno Mars concert can feel less like a traditional performance and more like a celebration happening in real time. And after 47 days of the romantic tour, that formula has created an enormous collection of memories for fans around the world. But there is one important detail that makes this particular moment different. The New Jersey finale is not simply the conclusion of day 47. It is the closing point of this specific run at MetLife Stadium. And when an artist performs multiple nights at the same major stadium, each performance becomes connected to the next. Fans compare nights. They discuss differences. They share favorite moments. They talk about outfits. They remember songs. They search for unexpected details. They analyze every clip. And as the final show approaches, all of that conversation reaches a peak. This is where the online Bruno Mars community becomes especially active. A single concert clip can spread across social media within minutes. A fan recording can become a viral moment. A particular outfit can generate thousands of reactions. A change in the performance can become a major talking point. And an emotional goodbye can become the image associated with the entire New Jersey run. That is the nature of modern concert culture. The show happens inside the stadium, but the conversation continues far beyond the stadium. Fans who were not even there can watch clips. People can experience the atmosphere through short videos. Concert photographs can travel across platforms. And suddenly, a moment that happened in East Rutherford becomes part of the global Bruno Mars conversation. That is why day 47 matters, even though day 48 is already waiting. It gives fans one more piece of the puzzle. One more night to remember, one more performance before the finale, and one more reason to wonder what Bruno Mars has planned for the final night. There is also something deeply emotional about reaching this stage of a tour. At the beginning, everything feels new. The opening show has excitement because nobody knows exactly what to expect. Then the tour develops. Performances become more polished. Fans learn the routines. The set list becomes familiar. The production becomes a recognizable world. But eventually, every tour reaches the point where the excitement of the beginning starts transforming into nostalgia. That is what is happening now. The romantic tour is no longer simply the tour that fans are discovering. It is becoming a tour that fans will remember. And that difference is huge. The people who attended day 47 will eventually look back and remember where they were, who they were with, what song made the crowd explode, what Bruno said, what the stadium sounded like, and what it felt like when the final lights came on. Those memories cannot be recreated. That is what makes live music special. You can replay a recording. You can watch a video. You can stream an album. But you cannot completely recreate the feeling of standing inside a stadium surrounded by thousands of people who are singing the same words at the same time. That is the experience Bruno Mars continues to deliver. And as the 48th show approaches, the emotional stakes become even higher. Imagine the final countdown. The audience knows this is the last night. Bruno knows it is the last night. The musicians know it. The dancers know it. The production crew knows it. Everyone understands that this particular chapter is coming to an end. And that knowledge changes the atmosphere. The applause can feel longer. The cheers can feel louder. The emotional moments can feel heavier. Even familiar songs can suddenly sound different because the audience knows there is a final goodbye waiting at the end of the night. That is the magic of a finale. It turns familiar moments into memories. And for Bruno Mars, whose live performances are so closely connected to audience participation, that emotional connection can become one of the biggest highlights of the entire evening. Now, let's take a step back. The Romantic Tour has already established itself as one of the major concert stories surrounding Bruno Mars in 2026. The tour has brought his music to massive audiences and created a steady stream of viral moments, fan reactions, and entertainment headlines. But what makes this New Jersey finale particularly fascinating is the timing. Day 47 has just ended. The audience has barely had time to process the latest show. And immediately, attention shifts toward day 48. There is no long wait. There is no huge gap. There is simply one final night. That means the anticipation is already building. Fans are asking the same question everywhere. What will Bruno Mars do tomorrow? And that question is going to remain unanswered until the lights come on. That is the perfect tension for a concert finale. We know the location. We know the date. We know the artist. We know the tour, but we do not know exactly how the final night will feel. And sometimes not knowing is the most exciting part, because Bruno Mars has spent his career understanding one fundamental truth about entertainment. People remember moments. They remember the unexpected. They remember the feeling of being surprised. They remember the moment when a familiar performance suddenly becomes something they never expected. That is why fans are watching closely. Not because every finale needs a huge surprise, but because the possibility of something special makes the final show even more exciting. And regardless of whether day 48 brings a major surprise or simply delivers another spectacular Bruno Mars performance, one thing is certain. The New Jersey chapter of the Romantic Tour is almost over. Day 47 has officially concluded. The stage at MetLife Stadium has gone quiet for another night. The crowd has gone home. The lights have dimmed. The memories have already begun spreading online. And somewhere behind the scenes, preparations are moving toward the final performance. One more night. One more crowd. One more entrance. One more set list. One more opportunity for Bruno Mars to step onto the MetLife Stadium stage and turn another night into a memory. And then, eventually, the final note. That is the moment everyone is waiting for. The moment when the 48th and historic finale stop of the tour in New Jersey comes to an end. For the Hooligans, this is not simply another concert update. It is a countdown. Day 47 is history. Day 48 is next. And the final chapter is waiting. There is something poetic about the fact that Bruno Mars will return to the same venue for the finale. The story began in this New Jersey run, continued night after night, and now reaches its conclusion under the same stadium lights. Same venue. Same artist. Same massive stage. But a completely different feeling. Because tomorrow, everyone knows it is the last one. The final goodbye will eventually arrive. And when Bruno Mars takes his final bow of this New Jersey run, fans will know that they have witnessed something that cannot be repeated in exactly the same way. That is what makes a live tour so powerful. The tour may continue beyond this chapter, but this particular sequence of nights at MetLife Stadium will belong to the fans who were there. Day 45, Day 46, Day 47, and finally, Day 48. Each night becomes part of the story. Each crowd adds another layer. Each performance creates another memory. And now the final night is almost here. For everyone watching from home, this is the moment to stay tuned. Because the next update could bring the biggest moments of the entire New Jersey run. The final set list. The final entrance. The final outfit. The final encore. The final crowd reaction. The final goodbye. Everything is pointing toward one night. Wednesday, August 26th. MetLife Stadium. East Rutherford, New Jersey. The historic finale. And if you have followed Bruno Mars through the Romantic Tour, you already know what happens when the lights go down. The stadium gets quiet. the anticipation builds. The crowd waits. Then the music starts, and Bruno Mars takes the stage. For a few hours, thousands of people forget everything else. They sing. They dance. They celebrate. They become part of the performance. And when the final song arrives, nobody wants the night to end. But every tour has a final night. Every stadium eventually empties. Every stage eventually goes dark. And every unforgettable concert eventually becomes a memory. Day 47 has now joined that history. The 48th show is next. And this time, the word finale changes everything. So, Hooligans, the countdown has officially begun. Bruno Mars The Romantic Tour has reached the final stretch of its New Jersey chapter. And after day 47 at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, there is only one more show left at this venue. One final night. One final celebration. One final opportunity to create a memory that fans will talk about long after the lights go out. Whatever happens, the significance of this moment cannot be denied. Bruno Mars is closing another chapter in New Jersey. MetLife Stadium is preparing for one last night, and hooligans around the world are watching. Day 47 is officially concluded. Now the countdown to day 48 begins. See you tomorrow, hooligans. And when the lights come on one final time, get ready. Because the historic New Jersey finale of the Romantic Tour is next. Bruno Mars The Romantic Tour Day 47, the road to the historic New Jersey finale. The story does not end with day 47. In fact, this is where the anticipation becomes even stronger. After another night of music, lights, dancing, and thousands of hooligans filling MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Bruno Mars has officially completed the 47th stop of this incredible run. But instead of leaving fans with a long pause, the Romantic Tour immediately creates another question. What happens next? The answer is simple. One more night. One more show. One more chance for Bruno Mars to turn MetLife Stadium into one of the most unforgettable stages of this tour. And that is why the conclusion of Day 47 feels less like an ending and more like a countdown. For the fans who have been following every stop of the Romantic Tour, the final New Jersey performance carries a completely different kind of energy. There is excitement, but there is also anticipation. There is celebration, but there is also the realization that this particular chapter is almost over. The stage that has hosted Bruno Mars night after night is preparing for one final performance. The same stadium, the same massive production, the same incredible audience. But this time, everyone knows what is coming. The finale. That word alone changes the atmosphere. During a normal concert, fans arrive wondering what the night will bring. During a finale, fans arrive knowing they are witnessing something that will never happen in exactly the same way again. And that is what makes August 26th so important. The 48th and historic finale stop in New Jersey is now the next major moment in the Romantic Tour story. There is a unique emotional rhythm to the final night of a concert run. The opening moments can feel familiar, but the meaning behind them becomes different. Every song becomes part of a goodbye. Every interaction with the crowd becomes more significant. Every transition feels like another step toward the final moment. And Bruno Mars understands how powerful that connection can be. His concerts have always been built around creating a relationship between the performer and the audience. The crowd does not simply watch the show. The crowd becomes part of it. That is why Bruno Mars' live performances continue to generate so much attention across social media. A stadium full of people singing together creates images that travel far beyond the venue. A powerful vocal moment becomes a viral clip. A dance sequence becomes a fan favorite. A funny interaction becomes a memorable story. And a finale can turn all of those emotions into one final celebration. That is exactly what makes the next show so fascinating. The question is not whether Bruno Mars can deliver an incredible concert. His reputation as a live performer has already been established. The question is what kind of feeling he will create when the audience knows it is the final night. Will the crowd sing louder? Will the applause last longer? Will Bruno take a moment to reflect on the New Jersey run? Will there be a special interaction that fans remember? Will the final encore carry a different emotional weight? Nobody knows exactly how the night will unfold, and that uncertainty is part of the excitement. One thing fans have learned throughout the romantic tour is that every show can create its own identity. Different cities bring different energy. Different audiences react differently. Different moments become memorable for completely different reasons. That is why fans continue watching clips even after a concert has ended. They want to know what happened. They want to compare nights. They want to discover details they may have missed. And they want to experience the excitement even if they were not physically inside the stadium. Now, Day 47 becomes another piece of that larger story. It is the latest memory from MetLife Stadium, but it is also the bridge to the finale, and that makes it incredibly important. Think about the journey that brought Bruno Mars to this point. The romantic tour has traveled across major markets, brought enormous crowds together, and transformed stadiums into giant celebrations of music. The production has continued to evolve. The performances have created countless fan memories. And Bruno Mars has continued to demonstrate why his concerts remain among the most anticipated live events in popular music. But eventually, every tour reaches moments like this. The final stretch, the final city, the final stadium, the final performance. And when that moment arrives, fans begin looking backward as much as they look forward. They remember the opening. They remember the first time Bruno appeared on the stage. They remember the songs that became crowd favorites. They remember the outfits. They remember the surprises. They remember the moments that went viral. And they remember the feeling of being there. That is why concerts are different from simply listening to music. A song can live forever on a streaming service. A music video can be watched millions of times. An album can be played again and again. But a live concert exists only once in that exact form. The crowd is different. The atmosphere is different. The emotions are different. The moment happens once, and then it becomes history. For the fans attending the final New Jersey show, that reality will be impossible to ignore. When they enter MetLife Stadium, they will know this is the last night of this particular run. When the lights go down, the anticipation will be different. When Bruno Mars appears, the reaction could be enormous. And when the final song arrives, the crowd will know that the clock is almost out. That creates a powerful emotional arc. The concert begins with excitement. The middle builds momentum. The biggest songs push the energy higher. And eventually, everything leads toward the final goodbye. That is the payoff fans have been waiting for. But there is another reason this finale matters. It gives the romantic tour another opportunity to demonstrate its ability to turn a massive stadium into an intimate experience. That may sound impossible. How can one performer make tens of thousands of people feel connected? That is the challenge of a stadium concert. The stage is enormous. The audience stretches across the venue. There are thousands of people in every direction. Yet the strongest performers make those people feel as though the moment belongs to them personally. Bruno Mars has built much of his live reputation around that ability. He can move from explosive choreography to a quieter musical moment. He can bring the crowd into the performance. He can let the audience carry a chorus. He can create moments where the stadium almost feels like one giant voice. And on a final night, that connection can become even more powerful. The Hooligans are not simply attending another concert. They are closing a chapter. That is why every detail becomes interesting. What will the final entrance feel like? What will the audience reaction sound like? How will Bruno acknowledge the crowd? And what will happen when the final notes echo through MetLife Stadium? Those are the moments fans will be searching for after the show. Within minutes, social media will likely begin filling with videos and reactions. Fans will share their favorite moments. Concertgoers will upload footage. People will discuss the set list. Others will talk about Bruno's performance, fashion, vocals, choreography, and stage presence. And somewhere in that massive stream of content, one moment could emerge as the defining image of the New Jersey finale. That is the unpredictable nature of live entertainment. You can plan the production. You can rehearse the songs. You can prepare the stage. But you cannot completely control how a crowd reacts to a special moment. That is where the magic happens. And after day 47, the anticipation is already at another level. There is no need to create unnecessary rumors. There is no need to invent a surprise. The facts alone are exciting enough. Day 47 is over. Day 48 is next. MetLife Stadium is preparing for the finale. And Bruno Mars is about to close this chapter of the romantic tour in New Jersey. For Hooligans, that is more than enough reason to keep watching. Because the final show will not only be about what happens on stage. It will also be about everything that led to this moment. Every previous performance. Every city. Every crowd. Every memory. Every song. Every late-night fan reaction. Every viral clip. All of it leads into one final night. And once the finale ends, fans will immediately begin asking another question. What comes next for Bruno Mars? That is where the story continues. Because an ending can also be a beginning. The conclusion of one stretch of the romantic tour does not erase everything that came before it. Instead, it gives fans another milestone to remember while looking toward the next chapter of Bruno Mars' career. But before we get there, there is still one night left. One final MetLife Stadium performance. One final opportunity for the Hooligans of New Jersey to experience the romantic tour together. And one final chance for Bruno Mars to leave the stage with the kind of ending that only a major stadium finale can provide. So now the countdown becomes very simple. Day 47, complete. Day 48, next. East Rutherford, ready. MetLife Stadium, waiting. The Hooligans watching. And Bruno Mars, preparing for the finale. Whatever happens during that final night, the New Jersey run has already created another memorable chapter in the romantic tour. Day 47 has officially entered the history of this journey. But the biggest emotional moment may still be waiting. Because sometimes the most unforgettable part of a concert is not the opening. It is not the first song. It is not even the biggest performance. Sometimes, it is the final moment when the artist stands before the crowd and everyone realizes that the night is ending. That moment is coming. The lights will eventually rise. The stage will eventually go dark. The audience will eventually leave. But the memories will remain. That is the power of live music. And that is why